Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Bolivius from a Doctor's View podcast. I hope you're all safe and well. I'm currently, as you can probably see, in a hotel room, and that is to try and protect family members because I'm still working in a hospital on a COVID unit, so that's why I'm here. As a result of which, I am quite bored a lot of the time when I'm not at work. So what I thought I'd do is I just had a look, see what I brought with me, and thought I'd try and do a video about them. I've got my podcasting kit with me. I've also, in my podcasting bag, which I've got a video on actually in my channel, is a lapel microphone, and I use it for the odd Instagram post or something like that, and it works really well. So I thought I'd talk about it, and that is this. It is, let me get it so that you can see. Sorry for the noise on the desk. This is what's called let me see if I can get the name right, JK Mic J044 microphone, and I got it for about £25 on Amazon. I tend to curl the cord around, but it usually just comes around straight. It's a very, very basic lavalier microphone, and all you get with it is this foam pop filter, foam wind guard, and that's it. It comes off very easily actually, and I've lost it several times. But at the moment I'm going to show the difference between that and also the inbuilt speakers on my laptop, and I've got a 2013 MacBook Pro, so it's quite an old computer, but hopefully it's picking up some form of sound very well. And so now you're going to be hearing me on the inbuilt microphones on the laptop. What I've also got out of screenshot is one of these, and that is a Zoom H1n, just so that there, and I've got it on its little tripod thing there, and I've got that set to recording at level 7, and I'm going to do a quick comparison between that. So now you can hear me on the Zoom, and it's a bit far back, and the reason is because I've gotten my foam pop filter, and it's very, very susceptible to plosives. So if it's any closer, you'll start getting quite a lot of horrible plosive sounds, the P's and the B's and things like that. So this is a quick comparison between those two. Now, to connect the JK lav mic onto this audio, I'm currently using QuickTime to record this, and you can connect it straight to your computer. But there's a caveat. Most computers nowadays have simply a single combi socket for microphones and headphones, and it relies on what's called a TRRS connector, as opposed to the one that comes with the JK, which is a TRS connector. And the difference between a TRRS connector, this is a TRRS connector, and this is a TRS connector. And the difference is you can see the TRRS connector has got a extra ring, and that's because one of those rings is for the microphone, the other is for the headphones, and that's like your Apple EarPods or your headphones that come with your phone. So if you plug this straight into your laptop in the combi socket, it won't work well. So what I use instead is one of these, and this is essentially a very, very small USB sound card. It costs about £3-4, I think it was, and as you can see, it just plugs straight into your USB socket. You can select it as a sound source, and it's got two different inputs there. One is for your headphones in the green, and the pink one there is for your microphone, and it will just plug straight into there and goes into your laptop, and it works absolutely fine. You can adjust the inputs in your settings as well. If you want to record straight to your phone, which a lot of people do, is if you've got, say, an iPhone or any other mobile phone nowadays, very few have headphone jacks. You need to get yourselves one of your overpriced and fragile adapters, and this one is a Lightning to TRS socket. Again, you have a problem. If you connect this straight into that, it's the same problem as you do have with the laptop. So what you need to do is you need to buy one of these, and this is a splitter, TRS to TRS splitter, and as you can see, it's got two different inputs that the connector splits to. And I'm sorry the focus is so atrocious on this. I'm using my inbuilt webcam, as you can probably tell, but you should be able to see that it's got headphones, and on this one it's got microphone. These are relatively cheap as well. I think this one's actually a little bit more expensive than the Sennheiser one. Yeah, Sennheiser one. So what you need to do is plug that into that, and then plug your lav mic into that. And so it's a bit of a cumbersome looking package, and then this then plugs into your phone. And what that lets you do is it lets you actually just record straight onto your phone on your video camera. So if you're doing a quick blog and things like that, it's actually works really, really well. And if you tape this together, or you don't mind it dangling around, it's actually quite useful having the extra length. It means you can put the cable under your clothes and just have the lav mic in a nice position. You're not putting any strain when you're moving around. Other things to note about the lav mic: it's an omnidirectional microphone. So what that means is it doesn't matter how it's positioned, be it left, right, up or down. Some people prefer having the lav mics facing downwards, and that helps if they've got quite a strong voice. Other people, just basically depending on your clothing, sometimes you notice that the lav mic just starts changing position ever so slightly, and it shouldn't really affect this much at all. There are some lav mics that are cardioid polar pattern, similar to microphones I've spoken about in the past, where they literally just pick up what's around them. And that's great, and it's fantastic if you're just in an interview situation, you just want to pick up your own voice and nothing else, which I understand you tend to want to do anyway. But the difference is with this one, you can turn your head a little bit, and it still picks up in a relatively good way, and you can, like I say, turn it different directions, different orientations. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to plug this straight into my laptop, and I want you just to be able to hear the difference in audio quality. I'm going to use the USB sound card. I'm not going to do any post processing whatsoever, so it's purely straight from the microphone, pure sound. The only thing I will be doing is it can be a little bit quiet from the gain on the laptop, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to up the levels in the iMovie or whatever I'm going to edit it with. So it's not going to adjust any EQs or anything like that, just going to have the level boosted, which is very easy to do. I've noticed when you use it on your phone, you don't tend to need to do that. The phone gives quite good input, whereas on the laptop I find it's not so strong. So the next video clip will be that. So now what I've done is I've got the JK044, whatever this thing is actually called. I've got that plugged in now straight into my laptop, and I've just simply selected it on QuickTime, which is what I'm using to record this, on the drop down menu for the audio sources, and it seems to be picking up. I can see a signal, and that's absolutely fine. So hopefully it sounds pretty good. Other things to note about it: not very much. The cords are relatively good length actually, so you can comfortably sit here at a desk in front of a screen or camera which you've plugged it straight into, and it should be okay depending on what type of lens you've got and how big your field of view is. But other than that, it's a relatively good length if you just want to put a recorder in your pocket and have it running under your t-shirt or top. And what I've noticed to be the biggest factor in terms of audio quality using a lav mic, especially the cheaper ones, is it does seem to matter where it is in relation to your mouth. So for example, I know there's this rule whereby people say do one, stretch out your hand and then put it that distance away from you. I find that's a bit too much for the pickup for these, and so if you're on like a Zoom H1, the gain's got to be set really, really high in order to get a good signal with that, and you get a lot of underlying noise. So as with I've done in a previous video, the easiest way of getting good sound quality is actually to have your microphone close to your source and have the gain set as low as possible, or be able to turn down some of the background noise that way. And I don't think it's any different with this. It's an omnidirectional microphone, I believe, actually. Let me just double check that. Yes, it is. It's an omnidirectional microphone, sorry. And what that means is it doesn't matter whether it's upside down, tilted to the left, tilted to the right, it picks up all around, and that's good for this type of microphone. You can get cardioid pattern microphones in a lavalier form factor, which are good as well. That means they just pick up the what's in front of them, but it doesn't leave much scope if you turn your head side to side and things like that. So there's pros and cons with each one, but I find this is quite good, and for just normal videos or quick blogs or whatever it is that you want to do. If you do hear some underlying noise, I do apologise. It's probably not from the microphone actually, it's probably from the air conditioning unit, which as much as I've turned it down and turned it off, it's still always on slightly in the background because I can't open windows here, so it's pumping fresh air into the room constantly, because that's efficient. And that's it really. I hope it's been useful to some extent and given you an idea of the different comparisons between something like a Zoom H1, an old laptop microphone, and also a cheap lavalier mic. And I'll see what else I can do in this room in terms of equipment wise. I haven't got much else with me, but there we go. All right, I'll join you again next time. Take care and look after yourselves. Bye bye.